And good day, creators. This is me. How you guys all doing today? So today we are basically going to be just putting, whoops, as I throw everything, why not, right? We are just going to be putting hooks on to the pendants. We're also going to be cleaning up some of the back of the hooks from like the old ones and whatnot. I will be also going through some of the, I don't think we have actually any of the light of the ones with the blues. I think of blue heavy on this side. We do have a lot of hooks with the blue bead. You guys can. Don't think that one's actually going to be used, but we'll see. Most of the ones that we will be doing today will be like the figure eights. That's what I call them. And it's just a rolled up coil on both sides with 2 holes in the side. Also just made up these earrings. I don't know if I'm going to do beads or not on them, but it's actually a clover with a figure 8 on the bottom. I will try to figure that out later. See how you guys can see it. So yeah, that's basically it. And then once these are hooked, like the rest of these, they will be, oh, if you can see the difference in the shininess. This one's a lot more shinier, but it also is tackier. Like these can like lay on each other and not connect. Where, let me see if I can find a good one. I unstuck all of these, so it's really hard to. But anyway, when you stack 2 of them together for a while, they do stick. So I'll have to figure that out. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate the lurk, sweetie. Hope you're alright. So once again, we do have something new set up. We have the screen. I hope it's actually, so point right, so that's right, left, okay, so that should work. We switched the cameras around so that now you guys actually can see what I see, or how I see it, I guess that's what I should say. I'm not in Discord today just because it's too people-y. It's too people-y. And I also have the Alexa hooked up to my headphones because yeah, I can do that. So I'm like, I got music that won't hurt my stream, so woohoo. I might get in Discord later. It all depends on if I can cheer myself up. It's basically what it depends on, guys. So yeah, I finally got my new tools in. Yes, these are miniatures. I mean, this is a regular size pair of scissors, and this is my pliers. So as you can tell, they're a very, very small pair, which is perfectly fine with me because, as you can see, my hands need it. They do not have the best grip. I mean, this actually really hurts. And it's not great quality, but I'm happy I have tools. Without the tools, I wouldn't be able to do any of these. And I can always change out a, you know, figure out a different way to get the handles done. And we have just the plain old beads, the pendants, excuse me, that we've been working on. Of course, not all of them made the cut to be in this step. And then I get to go outside, yay, oh my goodness, it's so nice out there. And we are going to varnish these. So I'm happy to get that out of the way because once it's done, once the varnishing is all done, the only thing I need to worry about later on, if these do get anything else done to them, is put a hook on them. You know, like the chain, excuse me, not the hook. The hooks are what we're doing today. Words. So yeah, it's going to be a fun time. So feel free if you guys have any questions or anything like that. I do have coffee on hand, so I will try to stay perky. Try and find the ones that I can actually change out to have blue beads. What this is, I'm not sure if I actually said it or not. To be honest, these are the old jewelry pieces that I made forever ago. I might have them sometime on my new Facebook, but if you guys know my old Facebook, I have all of the pictures on when I was making each one of these. They are all numbered, so I know which ones I'm actually taking apart. Can you guys actually see that? These were my old labels when I had the swap meets and inside the store. See the label, the number of the item. I always numbered my items when it came to the jewelry. I always thought it had some significance. With these, yeah, none of these have been numbered. Yeah, this is another chain idea that. So that's one chain there. You guys really can't see it. I'm so sorry. But it has the coral loop, and then it kind of goes up into an S, and then hooks right there. Who knows? Maybe I'll get some close-ups of these. So these guys are actually being taken apart because I want the. All right, and so if you guys know what a any of the hooks or the pendants, when you guys come to one of the loops that you guys want to open, never open this way, always turn. Hi Ambridge, how are you doing? So see, I'm going to turn to the side, and that doesn't disrupt the shape of the hook at all. So now I can grab one somewhere, do the same thing, and see, this one never lost its shape, and now we have a beaded hook. And now one that we can use for a non-glue guy. Ooh, what'd you paint? I hope something that brought joy to you. You can also use your tools, like your needle nose or your pliers or any of the tools that you might need to do this. Like this one's actually hooked on the back for some reason, so I might need to open up the hole for this one. As you can see, it is not that big. I am going to go back in here with my tweezers and just kind of clean up the way it lays. Like I said, when you guys do any type of hooks or anything like this, you want to make sure that when you connect them, that it doesn't give any snags, because like right there, that one's kind of snagging. I don't know if you can see that. See, I don't know. But yeah, my fingers actually has little marks coming off. So if that was like a kid's or somewhere on your hand, that would totally leave a mark, just like a cat scratch. You just bring in your flat nose, come on in. Be careful that you don't push too hard, because then you're going to start scoring the metals, and you definitely do not want that. So if you have any like nylon pliers, those would definitely work better, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of jewelry work. Because with the nylon ones, they actually don't give that indentation that it just did there. See, now it doesn't stick. It's not going to catch on anything. And we're good. Okay, I think that was the only two that I had. So now we got the two. These guys, I'm trying to find my favorite ones. Oh, this one has blue in it. Good. I can do another blue. Erwin, hey, how you doing? Ooh, well, good luck on the selling. Etsy's okay. Umbridge. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. My head's been not in the right places these last few days. I believe there's some other sites that also are out there for artists. I'm gonna have to really do my research on most of those now. But I hope that works out for you for sure. Send pictures. You always know I love pictures. I actually have two blue ones. Goodness gracious. How did I miss those? Three of them. Hi. Hi ho. Ranger Joe. You're grand? That is awesome to hear. I love to hear when people are doing grand. You don't hear that very often. I don't know. I guess I could say I'm peachy. Oh, if you grew up in my house, you would know that was not a good thing. Trying to get this to form straight so when it lays on the chest, it actually doesn't flip. Even though we do have the double backing, that's the back. Really can't see the designs. I am sorry, guys. And that's the front. And then we've got the opiate. Yeah, taking pictures of this is going to be fun. Oh, this is the one. I was like wondering why this one was so darker than the rest. It's because this is where the black paint got, it dropped in the black paint and I had to clean it up. Whoop. Bye bye, Flutie. No, I'm kidding. Just a runaway. This one I might actually have to open up into a bigger loop. If I do, then that's fine too. Like I said, right now I'm just reusing what I have. I'm gonna have to open it up. Can I get it out now? I probably can't get it out now. See, it's hooked on the paint in the back, and that's what I don't want it to rip. There we go. Remember, side to side, never, so it's side to side, never open. You're doing any type of loops or chains or anything like that. That's just so you don't distort the circles or the loops or whatever you're working on. And if you do have to, like, let's say this loop there's way too small for what you're trying to go for, like this one's a one backer, but it's still just going to fit. But let's just say we have to. You can do it a few ways. You can open it back up and straighten out and then loop it around here, or you can take your pliers and just push down roll out until you get to the size that you prefer. And then we just made the loop bigger. Would also want to straighten that out. That's how get that to work. But again, I want to open this up, so I'm going side to side. Oops. And we're still throwing items around. This time I'm going to go from the back to the front to see if that... No, I don't like that one. I want the hook to be shown in the front. Okay. As you can see, like I said before, it just fits, so that's great. We're going to go back to the side. Keep a hand on the thing. Make sure that bead stays in the center loop, because that is where I want it. I'm just, like I said, I'm just folding the hook together to be flush to the rest of the sides. I'm having a hard time with that one, but that's okay. Oh, I really love these. I think these are one of my favorite ones that came out of the batch. And the cool thing about this is, like, this one's like super big. I'm actually might do that to a double. But what you can do is, if you get the loop too big, what you can do is bring it in and then loop it around. When I find one in a second, I'll show you what I mean about loop it. You just loop the chain around a straight part and you make a coil. This one is a fun one. Trying to find out which one would benefit from a gold hook. These two are nice, but it has a lot of indentations in it. Always makes me mustard. I do like this one, but as you can see, the poker chip lettering has come through. So this one might turn into a dud. I think the one that's going to win is this one. I love how the swirls happened on this one here. It has enough different colors into it. I'm not sure if you can actually see those bubbles there, but it actually has some little bubbles on the sides. The swirls turned out really nice and distinct. And the back actually has a really, you guys actually see what I see. I forgot about that. And the back actually has some really cool stripes as well. This one turned out nicely. Forgive me for a second. Alexa, skip. Okay, so now they're touching. Once again, if you need to, just take your pliers and just pinch them together. Okay, so those are touching, and then always, like this one here, I made with a much bigger loop pliers when I first made them. These are miniatures, but also what you can do is, like, if you have a pen or a pencil, you can also create some loops. So basically anything you have around the house that is round. it's gonna. Oops. I just messed up that. Oop. Fine. Not too shabby. Yeah, see, this one's really hard. I mean, I could pass a blue bead on these, but I would really not want to do that. We can try this style, or this one is going to actually be a lot harder to do because this one has the wrapped clovers with the triple eight with the figure eight loops, which I will take pictures of later on and see if I can show you guys how those look. This camera is not doing it justice whatsoever. And the beads I am using that you see on these guys are from the dollar store. You can find them in the crafting section. It's pretty cool. It's about like that much. It's good deal. But that was like quite like 2014 is when I picked those up. Okay, so as you can see, this one here is a different style. Maybe if I get a piece of dark paper, do that. Worth a shot, right? Like it was worth a shot. Oh. Let me see if I can take one apart and show you guys what I mean. I didn't like that first one. It was too deformed. I remember both ones I pulled side to side and not. But so this is your the hooks that we're going to be using now. This one will definitely need to be a bigger loop at the end. But I don't think that's going to tear up too much of that straight line there. You guys can actually see that. So yeah. Like definitely we're going to have to see what I can do about the figure eights on this one. They could be earrings. They're mostly pendants right now. I did make a pair of earrings. You can't see them. I wish I had something dark to put this on. This is a, oops, where is the camera? Yep, I'm a pro. So this is a clover wrapped with the figure eight. And I'm gonna have the earring look here. And these are rolled up corals. Yeah, they're just pendants. Wasn't really anything that I was like, learned how to do. I just had the items and made them. The real project was the bowls. This was just an after. Now I'm just rolling this out so it's all straight. Remember, you don't want it to pinch too hard because you don't want to score the metal because that does not come out. Oh, sorry, cold coffee, guys. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but cold coffee gives me the hiccups. It's just so weird. I mean, if I pounded these, I could pretty much get it, but then you're also flattening the piece as well. Like, I'm not sure if you can, probably can't. This camera, like I said, is not the greatest one. But it actually, the tip of this, with all of that work that I've just did, actually has dulled it. Oh, thank you so much for that, host. How are you doing, Standing Wolf? I'm sorry, sweetie. If I had my cube, I really need to find a way to get like everything on this side. You know what I mean? I would give you a shout out, but if you like, you can do SO in your name. I know, right? I don't get ads, so I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. But yeah, Standing Wolf, definitely do exclamation mark SOAA and your name. Feel free to shout yourself out. Same with demo. I'm sorry, I can't do shout outs because my computer is way over there. I'm actually way behind my computer at this point. If you want, yeah, you're allowed. You're my, you're a streamer. You're a good one. Well, you should be shouted out all the time because you are a wonderful person and a really cool streamer. So, if nobody knows that, just click on his name. Click on the name right there. If you just click on the name, then you can say follow. Awesome streamer. Variety streamer. If I could actually talk today. I don't talk much in your channel, man, but I'm almost always there. Almost always. Okay, right now I'm just kind of testing out how big I need. Whoops. As I throw it around. And since this is already a loop, what we're going to do is treat it just like a hook and go sideways. That is so that we don't interrupt the curve of the metal. And then that way we can actually judge what size we're going to actually need to make that loop. So that loop needs to start there and in there. Yeah, I'm a lurker. Okay, so for this one here, since it needs to be so big and I only have the small pliers, we're going to do this gradually and start all the way at the thickest part of your pliers. Grab the tip and just start turning. Then what you're going to do is open up, go to where your curve is, grab that at the end, and just slowly turn in. If you need to, you can always pull and make it work with you. See how much bigger that is compared to the, and just roll it in. Always flatten out your items. So that is basically how it looks now. A little different. Like I said, this camera does not pick up very well. Gives it a little different look. I don't know why I want to call it a highway, but I do. Okay. We're going to open up the loop sideways. Check out to see if we made a big enough. Now it looks like a hook because I just undid this, which I was not supposed to do. But hey, it's been a few years since I played around with hooks. Okay, so that actually really good in there. So we're going to take our pliers again. So it's actually where it's supposed to be. There we go. Oops. Try not to ruin the baseline. Okay. Now what I'm doing is just kind of forming the hook. So what we're actually going to do is probably, I didn't even think about how we were going to do that. We could next time do this one as the hook for in here, and then have this part here as the hook for the necklace. It's all learning experience. Yeah. And it's very much appreciated. I can't actually, do I see that? Oh, I do. I can't see that on this page. Okay, cool. Yep. You're number one, my friend. Once again, we're just taking off an old piece. Yeah, I might want to try that. Let's see how that was going to look. All I can tell you, my friend, I don't do the streaming for the money. Sorry, that was supposed to be a joke, but I don't know if it actually came out as one. Just like I don't do the crafting or what's the word I'm looking for? Money either, especially since I read the title of the stream. Yeah. Okay, so since we are going to use this for the hook for the necklace, I'm just going to readjust the loop. Make sure it is connected, and now what you do to kind of fix the loop is you can push down, and that kind of helps stretching the pieces. It gives you more of a loop, half circle, than it does with a crank in your loops. So you get more of a circle instead of like a teardrop. Never worry about having to adjust it. That is, the fun part about learning all of this. Not all of them are going to look the same. Even if you try, honestly, I've tried so hard to make all of these like, cookie cutter. But we all have to know I'm not a cookie cutter, but that's fine. And see how much difference you still look now with the loops. I really wish I had a dark piece. Let's see if that helps. See how this one has the swirl actually touching the thing, and then has the two loops back here. Where this one has the loop here and a little hinge there. If I was going to fix this one, because we now can use this hook as the actual hook, you can actually come in, pull the big piece up, under, and wrap around it, and it kind of gives it a little bit more of a cooler effect. Ooh. Your hands are going to slip, but that's perfectly fine. Okay. I'm gonna piece these tighter. Right now it's trying to go inside the other hook, and that is not what I want. What I'm trying to do right now is, really wish I could like zoom in on this, but what I did was just wrapped that around this hook and the spiral so they're not coming apart. As you can see, now we have this big old nick. Probably can't see it because it's focusing on something else. And what we're going to do is take our, this is where the crunch comes in. This is a 20 gauge wire. So we're just going to take our wire cutters. There's two different sides. You got a flat side and a beveled side. And I'm just going to go as close in as possible to the wire. This is where you want to also be careful, because when these pop off, they fly sometimes. Oh goodness, that actually did take it. I will need to get a stronger pair if I'm going to keep going with the 20 gauge and see how much we actually took off of that. Do be careful when you have little ones. This does go everywhere. I have a dish right here that I'm putting all my extras in. So now we have this part here that's a little bit sticking out. So you can do this either with a round nose or any type of pliers that you want, and you're just going to pinch those together so that it's flush with any other parts and not snag. And so yeah, so I actually like this design a lot better. I think it gives a little bit more character to the hook, a lot more cleanness. I mean, this one does give a little design as well. I do like the little loop there, but that's going to be a lot harder to get a necklace piece onto, to actually stay flat onto the chest. Pendants, right? I wonder what that means. Okay, next up. This is actually one of the hooks that I have from the necklaces. This would be at the end of a necklace or any bracelets or anything. So it has the loop here and then the hook. And then we hooked it into one. So that is now an extra piece that I can use for a later on project. Like, find the favorite ones. Find the favorite one. I don't know how I did that. Go into there. Not thick enough. I like this one because it looks like a galaxy. Okay. So again, I'm just going to pull this under and over, it onto the pendant, we're going to bring this loop. This is by like 20 gauge because it's a super strong wire, but you can still form it really nicely with your fingers, with the simple tools, with all of that. Now we're just going to loop that around each other. When you're doing this, you want to make sure it is a very tight loop because you want it to look neat. You can also kind of treat it like a zip, I was going to say a Ziploc bag, sorry. A sound bags, you know, the sound bag little twisters. I usually just like do it once and then I flip the bag. And then, like I said, I'm just bringing that all the way around. So now that it's in the back, squeezing them together so that you don't see a big mess. I think this one actually would look good that way. Pinch them together. I could cut this one off, but I think I'm just going to work it in with each other. So now you can no longer see or get stuck with that loop. Oh, they were busy? Don't you hate that? It's like, man, I came out of my way to give you a phone call and you're busy. Well, it's good that you're able to make up that stream. Goodness knows I've got a lot of making up streams to do. My hours have gone down quite significantly. That is a word I was just trying to say. Quite significantly. I really don't think I'm gonna have enough again for all of these. I could take off the beads, but I really don't want to. Ooh, hiccups. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna have to open this up. So it could fit in there. I have to be careful because if I hit the glass, it's going to nick it. I don't want to nick this glass. This is one color, so I do not have any more of. And I think I'm going to paint. These have not been sealed or anything like that, so they are very, very easy killable. And sadly to say, damageable. Let's throw it away. Why not? opposite way. That would be in the front. That's back. It still gives a really nice curve there. We're just wrapping this around, making it into a loop instead of a open one. Remember, every time you adjust the wires, they're going to change on you. They're also going to dent if you push too hard. I like in your chat box on stream, my name is Sand. I'm a little confused. Are you talking about the bit marks? Yeah, if you're talking about the bit thing up there. Oh, the chatbot. Oh, that thing. That thing. Yeah, yeah, it does cut off the thing. Yeah, I thought you meant the one for that shows the bits on my screen. It actually says standing the W. I could make around the way. Now, sunshine shining. Hey, I can see your mouth. Jeezies. Scratching my paint, guys. Another thing you really have to pay attention to when you're working with wire and tools is where they're touching, because they are definitely scratching up the paint job here. Oh, thank you, Red Hots. I appreciate that, girl. You guys don't know Red Hots? She is also a streamer. She is a multi gamer and an awesome person. Am I not making this loop any prettier? As you can see, that just totally like opened up on me. And it's flesh, but it is not pretty. I'll have to put that one across the dowel to get that. Right now, to God, I wish I could get that. More of a eggshell shaped or teardrop than it is a round, a rounded out. You guys can't see all these good. So how many of these do I have left? Let's make sure. Go. Okay, so I've got 4 left for the S-Link bracelet. So I have 4 of these I can pick out before we do the hard part on trying to get the figure 8s get in here. Oh, thank you, Red. I appreciate that. And of course, always you. About to throw these around. Man, when I first started making jewelry so many years ago, I had pieces flying off everywhere. Well, if you're just here to listen to learn, I hope I teach something, because not really. Yeah. Um, yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm trying to find. Okay, so I got 4 of these style left. Um, 5. I got 5 of these style left, and then we are going to either have to. This is where I'm like really. Yeah, no, that's definitely not gonna be. This is where I'm like definitely debating if I want to take out the blue and then just use these again. Because that blue bead is not going to be at all hard to replace. Or we would have to go with the figure 8s and unroll one side and then slip it through and then roll it back. Or what I can do is just snip off one of the rolled off pieces and then make the hook that way. So that is. Oh, it's a PC. PC. Yeah. Um, and then what I did was in the video caption, I just set transform and then 180 degrees, and it focuses down to actually to show you guys what I'm seeing. I have my webcam up there. It's just a regular webcam, and I just have that on a tripod for my camera. The tripod's like this big. I mean, it's like nothing. And then that's just facing down. Ooh, nice. Transform and roll out, right? What's like a transform and roll out? Yeah, I tried all those, like yeah, dungeons and raids and all of that stuff for the chats, but it just at the end it just became spam. So I took them out. Oh, no worries. I mean, I appreciate it. I do appreciate the streamer courtesy. A lot of people forget about streamer etiquette, but I do appreciate that. But yeah, feel free if you need to talk about the chat. You have my permission. I just totally had a brain fart. And when I mean I had a streamer head fart, I just like meant totally that I forgot how I was. And I keep forgetting that I have to stay in camera. Stay in camera so you guys can see a little bit of what I'm doing. Okay, what I'm having a problem with right now is the loop is getting distorted where the wrap isn't budging. I'm just kind of trying to get it pinched together to make a small loop and then come back in here and fix the necklace loop. Okay, another one down. Yeah, don't you love that? It's like, didn't you just ask me how my day was going? Right? Um, I heard one person actually got banned from someone. Well, I mean, I understand who the person could have been and who the person was because, you know, the person actually wrote this. I was like, yeah, I can see that happening to him. But what happened was he kept spamming his own emotes in the guy's room. So yeah. Oh, Heidi, hi. That hurt. And never worry about, like I mentioned before, grabbing a different tool. I'm scratching this. I don't have this color anymore. I need to be careful. So mad. And that just had to happen. I'm gonna have to try to find an orange before I dip these. I'm gonna have to redo the paint check so that you don't get the white marks like that's popping off there. uh, Gotta love this generation, right, guys? When we were kids, we didn't have anything like that. Okay, so my question is, which one's gonna be the front? Which one's gonna be the back? I know, right? You've got mail. Goodness. Oh, I didn't. Dang it! I did that with my thumb. Oh, I'm having such a wonderful day. Okay, like I mentioned before, when you get your cutters, there's two different types of cuts. And always, always guard your eyes when you're cutting. As these decide they're going to fly off. Okay. Then after you cut it, just bring in your flat nose and squeeze. That's just so that if there's any type of sharpness to it, you can kind of dull it out that way. Okay. And then our hole is fixed. I'm actually doing this one just a little bit differently. Instead of going over the loop, I'm going to try to go under the loop and then just twist it around. That way I can cut off all this excess and still get a good loop. Then after you get the swirl, or how I call the paper bag wrap, you just pinch them together to kind of bring those coils together so that they're not kind of separate and they're more of a coil like this. I really wish you guys could see what I can see. Since we distorted that, okay, and we'll just make this back into our okay. Now we're going to go flush up against the side of the back loop. Sound like it cut, but it didn't. Oh, I should have got bigger ones for these guys. There we go. Bring them in and then just clamp them so that they're closed and flush. Oh geez, I'm missing chat. I am so sorry. Do you weigh much? Wow, have I missed that much chat? Goodness gracious. I look up and no one's talked. I looked up again and like 60 billion. Most of the time it's whisper streamers if they ask me and then they don't know. Whisper. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, you're famous for your on TV. See, I caught that part. When it was a battle for the home and internet. Oh, I know. I wish I had that guy still. I am not kidding. Mine demo. Um, Mine used to be a gorilla, a purple gorilla, and I would um put sentences in or like anything like that. Like I was a bad speller in school. So I would put my book report in his little programming and have him read it to me to make it sound like it was, to see if it sounded like it was okay. Yeah, so funny. And then he would also sing, like little sings and little updates and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a purple gorilla. I love the fact that he sang Daisy to me. Always a help. Okay. How much do they weigh? These things don't weigh that much. It's a poker chip with one of those glass beads. If I can sit up in a second, I'll show you those glass beads that I made them out of. But it's just a regular poker chip and those glass beads that you get from the dollar store. Um, so yeah, not that much. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Oh, you're always helping. I appreciate that so much. I really do. Um, I want to make sure that was actually filmed. Yeah, I've been playing with the idea of opening an Etsy store, but it's 30 cents an item to list. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you don't know if any of this stuff is actually going to sell, um, yeah. This one right here, or bottom bottom right, right? So this right. Got that one. And of course I fall down, go boom. The red, white, and blue. I actually don't have any on this one on the map here. Um, Red, white, and blues are like these. Where this always look blurry. Yeah, this one's a gray. Actually, it's a green. That color's a green. That's a gray, and then we had the red. First one I picked up. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna put you on pause. I gotta go get the phone. I'll be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. And yeah, don't you love it when you have an answer? I have a landline. I don't have a cell phone, and we have an old-fashioned answer machine. Well, when you try to pick up the phone when the answer machine is going, it doesn't actually. Oh, kitties! Wrong button. Trying to get that to disappear. I don't know why the Aries is in there, so let's take out the Aries. There we go. Much better. Thank you, Red. I appreciate that. Okay, so that should be. Oops, wrong way. I'm like, actually, I was like, oh, I actually hang up this is Bindi. Wrong way, Paws. Okay. Want to make sure that the loop stands up straight so that when it hangs, you're not getting a swivel, even though it does have the double backs, just in case it does flip. And that is it for the silver ones. Next up is the question. Do I untwirl? We'll give it a try. I could just cut. Well, I'm just gonna cut. I'll figure out Whew, that almost went flying. I'll follow. I'll follow. Ever follow. Ever follow. There. Kind of a cute. See it? Trying to find out which ones will look good in the gold before I start trying to get those beads off the film. This is a little teardrop. I don't mind that too much. But no, you can always go back in there and tweak the circle a little bit more. Sounds good, Red. Thank you for being here. Now what I'm making sure is that when the loop that I'm cutting off is going behind, see that? So see this loop here? So the round loop that actually goes into the hole is getting pushed back onto the back of this so that it's not snaggable. So no matter which way you're going, you're not going to get snagged on anything. That is very important because your hair gets snagged in it, your sweaters get snagged, clothes get snagged, I mean, persons get snagged, and that is something you definitely want to pay attention to when you're doing any type of things that you're going to wear. Snaggability happens. And it's usually when you're in the most upset moods is when you get snagged by something. As you can see right now, all I'm doing is choosing the round tips and kind of giving us some more rounder top. And then God, I remember making all of these little loops. Oh my goodness, they took forever. They're fun to do though. Honestly, I don't know. I had a bunch of ideas. Um, However, let's just say I'm taking too many people's opinions of what I've been doing over the years, and now I feel like, okay, well, what's the point? I'm dying to make some more clay. I do have a series on my YouTube channel on how to make different styles of clay. So I'm really, really wanting to do that. Um, so yeah, so I have these that's almost finished. This is gonna be done in like today. And then I'm gonna go outside and they're gonna be varnished. So that's gonna take at least overnight to finish. And yeah, I had ideas to make dragon skin. So we'll see how that works. So the dragon skin, I have an idea on how I'm going to do it. I just have to figure out how to do it in an even pattern so that when I take it up, I can place it back onto a dragon. So I've got the dragon skins I would really like to finish. There's a dice box for the dragon skin that I would like to finish, even though it's probably going to end up in the trash once I'm done. But hey, at least I could say it's done. Um, I have some chains that I need to make for these still. I have a necklace, not these, not the ones I'm doing right now, but I have a necklace set that I'm really wanting to make for a lady at uh, the place I go to on Mondays, the mental health place that I would like to finish off for her. So that could be a stream. Um, but yeah, I really wanted to do something with the clay. Uh, but we'll definitely have to see what type of funk I can get myself out of. Because that's what's happening right now. Hence, like I said, if you read the if you read the title of this stream, I know when you're like, learning and starting out, so you shouldn't take people's criticism or what's to heart. But when you get told that for 14, 15 years, you kind of start saying, okay, well, what's the point? So I'm just trying to get what I can get done, so that I can put it into a drawer, and that's where they'll go. Hence the jewelry that I'm taking apart right now. The jewelry that I'm taking apart right now, I made back in 14. And now I'm in 19. Making them into something different. It's actually kind of cute. I like how these are turning out. Really? Is it the boron? Is that what's banned? I've never made slime. I can honestly say I have not made slime yet, but yeah, I can see the boron maybe being banned. Probably saying it wrong. Um, that could be cool. Oh, see now I'm getting where the clovers are. This is the bracelet that had the clovers. It's a chain that you guys really can't see this. It's really aggravating actually. Like it really is. Like I want to show you guys this really cool design I made up. And it's not like, not showing up. But see, it's a 3-leaf clover, and then it comes down and it loops around to make the 2 leaves. You guys see that? And then this is a figure-8 spot here that's going to be for like a dangling crystal. So yeah, so I did that as a chain. And then these are going to be earrings. And so yeah, so I have 2 pair of earrings that's going to have a small crystal or some type of a bead that's going to go there. And then the this one's going to be for a pendant. So they're all the 3 the same, but this one's going to have a much bigger pendant on it. Because you don't want to weigh down your ears. You don't want to rip them. Yeah, see, yeah, the borax. Yeah, yeah, that's what I kind of figured that was the band. Um, yeah, I don't know if you can do slime without that. Huh. I'm telling you, if it wasn't so expensive to send out of the United States, I'll send you some slime, man. I'm telling you. I sent this radio station I was affiliated with a few years back, and their whole storyline, because it was like a story lore base. They did it for the game. Oh, give me a son of a hidey high. It was a sci-fi movie, not movie, but sci-fi TV, and then they made a game on it. And this radio station was based their lore off of that game and show. And it starts with a D. Other than that, I cannot think about it. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I was affiliated with them for a few years. And so I made them some crystals because that was part of their lore was the crystals transported them into different games and different lore situations. So I made them up a few of the necklaces with crystals, and that cost like $30. I mean, these crystals were like not even this size. I mean, maybe all 3 crystals would have fit on this, give or take. Um, but goodness, this is expensive. Hmm. I would so send you some slime if I could. Um, Red was telling me about what was called these mystery boxes that you can get on like Amazon and eBay and stuff. And I watched a video that had a year-old slime box as a mystery box, and oh my goodness, guys, that looked wicked. It looked seriously wicked. You know, you got me thinking about how to make slime without the borax. I'm gonna say borax, and you know what that's from, right? Oliver. Orville, not Oliver, Orville. I keep doing that. I swear to goodness, I will never say that TV show name correctly in my life. Really awesome TV show, though. And I'm happy that they're moving channels. I really, really am. I hope he's still able to do what he, created the show to be like. I love the fact that he mentioned that Star Trek, the Federation, could still be in his universe. He's never ruled that out. And I like the fact that he stuck up to Fox. You know, I like the fact that he stuck up to Fox, even though that's his channel. He did Family Guy. He's done, does he do Bob Burgers? I don't know if he does that one. I know he does American Dad or whatever TV show that is called. Family Guy. I mean, he does so many things on Fox, and he stuck up for himself, and I'm really proud of that. I'd rather get a director change channels than turn a show into something it's not. I'm debating if I like this loop or not, but it works, so I'm leaving it. Doesn't melt okay, okay. Hmm. Eye solution. Thank you so much for that follow, Demo Girl. How are you doing? Actually, how are you doing? How's the baby doing? How's things? Have I missed the? I know but that's okay. Um, did we do the who's in more pain yet? You guys, please message me before you guys do that stream. I want to see it. Because I'm telling you, as women feel a lot more worse than being kicked somewhere. And thank you for being another follow on my road to 500. Oops. We do have a few goals going on. I don't have them on the screen because, well, it usually takes a few years for the goals from my section to make it, so I try not to really post it. But we have two goals going on. One is for the Twitch channel, and that is as soon as we hit 500 followers, we're going to do a special stream and giveaway. And then for my side, the crafting side, Paws of Curiosity, on our YouTube channel, if we hit 100 followers, we'll be doing a giveaway, an art giveaway, and a special stream. So just two things that are in the plans. Not a long way off, but it's goals. Gotta set our goals somewhere. Yeah, I don't mind the longer pieces. Kind of just gives it more of a little pizzazz to it. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I just wish I had a little bit better camera to show you guys the delicacy of some of these loops. I keep forgetting you guys don't hear my music either. It is good to have something to work through, especially when you're in a super funk. Remember, it's always fine to go in there and fix up some of these imperfections. Because remember, what you see, they are also going to see. Yes, yeah, I just totally messed up this one. I'm just gonna have to get a pencil or a rod, or even actually even this probably will help fix that up. And all I'm doing is pushing it down to kind of even out these. You really can't see it, and I'm sorry. But these crooked loops, and you're just kind of pushing it around the item to make the loop. It's perfect if you're trying to like make triangles or whatnot with these. Because you can get some really cool designs. Like I totally like biffed this one up. If I wanted this one to look straight and nice again, you really can't see it. I really do apologize. But they have a lot of nicks. What you can do is, if you want to get those nicks out, you can just get a little hammer. Any soft hammer, a mallet also will work, or even an actual hammer, and just put like a piece of cloth over it and kind of pound it out, and that will flatten the metal for you. And flat metal actually looks really cute as well. Now I have a lot more bracelets and necklaces and earrings that I could be taking apart and adding to the hooks for this. I mean, I use coffee cans to keep my jewelry in because, well, I mean, what else am I going to do with it? And I think I had like 5 coffee cans filled with jewelry. So right now I'm just striking the end and just swirling it into the hole again so that it has like a double loop through the hole. And that's just to get rid of some of these extra length of the chain. Trying not to ruin the paint job while I'm clamping this down, but oh, it was so hard. Okay. And we can just twist this, bring this down. Kind of give it a little bit of a fix up. I'll try to take pictures of the close-ups for these to kind of give you guys what is going on. That will be on my Facebook and Instagram for the update pictures. So this was a question I was wanting to ask. Most of you guys here, I believe, know about my disorder. I have multiple personality disorder. It's no longer called that, but that's what everybody knows is what's called. So with like the crafting is my side, where like the gaming is the other headmate side. So I wanted to ask you guys for the Instagram and the Twitch channel, do you believe the crafting should have its own, or do you guys mind having them both on the same account? I know I have the Twitter different. That's just because, well, you know, who wants to, someone's paying attention to the Twitter, they're wanting to know about the games, or just the crafting. But I'm still new to Instagram, so I'm not sure how people feel about having that being mixed. I know when I had them both on the same YouTube, a lot of people couldn't understand the channel. One of the reasons why when we did switch our names, our streaming name, we made that 2 sections. So that was a question I wanted to ask you guys and how you felt about that. Oh, thank you. Yeah, see, that's what I thought too. Back before we changed our name, it's actually been a year now since we've done that. And we thought the same thing, but we got a lot of comments of people saying they just couldn't understand it. All right, so the one I have in my hands right now is what I'm calling a double back, and it has one single. So this would be the front, and then this is another piece. So that's a 2, and then it has second back. Where most of these are single backs with a skin layer on the back. It shows both the difference. I didn't do many of the double backs. The ones that I did mostly do the double backs on were the very first ones. And I think they turned out pretty nicely. And so that's a double back. So yeah, I don't have many. Actually, I don't think I have many of the double backs with the stones. So yeah, so these are just another few ones that were done. And these were done on, oops, these were done on poker chips. All the ones that you have seen so far are just random poker chips that I got at a garage sale. And I painted. I was like, and I painted. Most of the stuff that's for the crafting is all recycled, mostly what's called upcycled. Basically, you take junk and you make it into something new. So that's mostly me. Like everything you pretty much see that I have crafted on Paws of Curiosity or Cat Smiles Curiosities. I think that was my old one. I don't know. I had just changed the name when we had to start over. All of that stuff is from recycled items. The glass beads were actually from a game. So those glass beads are from a game. These are regular poker chips. If I was in the other room, I'd show you the ones that have the stones on them. Those are just rocks that are glued onto the poker chips. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Because most of you are probably thinking I'm like the weirdest person in the world. So this is what I started with. So these are the glass beads that have been glued onto a poker chip. Of course, there's two different types of poker chips, but so you've got the glass beads. You can get at the dollar store. They have really nice flat back. And then you get poker chip, glue it on there. Then we also did this style here, where I'm not making these into pendants at this point in time, just because no one's had an interest in them for the pendants. So these are just teeny little rocks that was glued onto the poker chip. So that's basically what you guys are looking at when you see these. Mm-hmm. That does sound good, having set days for both of those. I'm not sure. They are pretty. Trying to find the empty one. Sorry. They are pretty light. I don't see why they wouldn't float in water. I swear to goodness, when you said that, I almost opened up my coffee cup and tried it. I'm like, I don't know, do they? But that's just a waste of coffee. I don't know. I could try and let you know for sure. Trying to see which ones would benefit because I don't have many of the figure eights left, which is surprising, like, because I really thought I had more. This was in the no piles. I really thought I had more no pile than I did, but I probably did get rid of those. I went through a purge quite many times. And it didn't help that we also got the fire that also took out all of my supplies. And the only reason I have what I have is it wasn't left on the porch when we moved. But all of the tools, the beads, everything else was. So we get to start over. Oh, that is, yeah, that would be nice. Getting those floating candles around him, that would be really nice. Um, yeah. I wonder how you would be able to do that. That would be very cute. Okay, dokie, to showcase. It is kind of in the somewhat of the same colors. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more. Ugh. Okay, well, gotta get it done today, so let's get it done today. Remember, when you're opening up a loop, goes sideways, never open it, always go side to side when you're opening up one of these. Now the fun part is, how many beads are we going to lose before the end of the day? Because this is the teeny little guys that we're taking out. Which is funny because I really thought I would have had more, I would have had more words. More words would be perfect, right? See, now this one's a little different of a clover. Let's go ahead and put it this one. This one's a little bit more of a different clover style. See if you guys can see that. Can we focus, please? This one actually has a green bead where the swirl is, and then the 3 loops have beads in them as well. Oh, see, this was a more thicker wire. It's still a 20 gauge, but it has been worked a little bit more. The way that I work these, it actually strengthens the wire instead of stretching it out and making it more dense. Going to try to work this so it has a double loop inside of the hole. But I'm not sure if that is what's going to be the case. Give me 1 second and I'll be able to read that. I'm just really trying not to ruin the paint job as well, because goodness knows I have done that to so many today. They're going to need a new paint job before I can varnish these. So that means those need to dry before I can varnish them. So now this kind of has a little musical note loop to it. Can't see it. Ugh. It just looks like 2 loops on your end. I have not tried knitting and or crocheting. That's something I don't do. I do a lot of things with clay, all types of clay, salt clay, Play-Doh, porcelain, cold porcelain, plaster, paper clays, 3 different styles of paper clays I make things out of. I do wire work. This isn't fairly, this is like the teeniest wire working projects here. I make the bowls out of the clays and those types of items. Um, I paint. Not great at it, but I paint. Yeah, that's a good question. I always wonder what what do I do? And then you ask yourself, what do you actually keep? I made a few Dungeons and Dragon items. Of course, none of those made it out of life, and still sitting in my room being undone. This one has a thick. Okay, there it goes. I was like, goodness gracious, that has a thicker back than I expected. Now, if I was making these loops and everything like that by themselves instead of taking stuff apart, I pretty much would have been done by now. I'm going to go back in there and fix up this curve. And of course, see, that's what happens when you work it too much. It just breaks off. So that was fun. This one is like super thick in there. So remember, it goes sideways. With something like this, you need to take both sides and then go side to side, since it is so flush with the back of this, which not letting me get a hold of it whatsoever. Oh, give me a son of a hidey high. Take it and then side to side. And at this point, I don't care because I need to actually just get this off. Just kind of trying to straighten it out so I can go back through that hole. There. So that's basically what you're kind of left with, is a broken piece. which is no big deal because we do have this part that we cut off just a second ago. We'll go ahead and set that inside there. Pull it to the side, pull it through the hole. And then back and curve in. Okay. I do need to go over it with a little bit of gray, but that is fine. So now we have this sticking up, and we want to make that into the actual hook. So you take it either depending on what size you're going for, take it by the tip. And this one we're going to actually twist our wrist, take the tip, and then just twist your wrist in. And you get a perfect little hook. So that would fit most chains right there. Okay, just straighten that out so we can get that bead. Okay. Bring up and over. Then I'm just going to take the back and bring it to the front. And like I said, just twisting my wrist into the crease. So it goes into a curve. And there we go. Got a little bit of a neck there, but still got a nice thing to throw around, right? No snags. Kind of looks cute there. Gives a little bit of, you know, dimension. Oh. Almost lost one. That would have been a count for one. I know, right? I mean, I could do that one knit or whatever it's called with, you know, like grab it, twist it. This side goes under. This side stays out. You do a knot. Now this knot can go smaller or bigger, and then you put your fingers in, like are you doing a hair tie? Grab the long piece, bring it through, close up the hole. Oops. You just keep grabbing the long piece, and then you get this really cool braided look. And that is the only one I know. Now, because what I did was I just tightened it. But if you needed to, let's say I made a mistake somewhere, and I didn't actually tighten, I kept the opening for my fingers. Okay, there we go. Come on. String, guys. You have to remember when you're playing with yarn, they come in strands. So yeah, so then, if I don't like it, it's undone. That's the only thing I know. I was like, that's the only thing I know when it comes to that. I know that's basically what you do for, either crocheting or knitting. I don't know I don't know the difference between those two, so don't quote me on that one. But now how to add on like extra layers and all of that patterns, oh no, that's my cup of tea yet. I am trying to teach myself how to everything also that I do, I've taught myself. I don't have any training whatsoever. It's like, hey, I have this and I have that. Let's make this. That's basically what all of this adventure's been all about. But I am trying to teach myself to sew. And at this point in time, I don't have a sewing machine. So when I go to what's called the living room for the Mondays, I am trying to do it there. Sorry, brain fart for a second there. I'm like, what are the words I was going for? Once again, as you can see, this has been done with two different types of metals. One has been more tarnished than this one. Make sure we twist the right side because we do not want to deform this, because I can reuse these hooks for a later project. And the funny thing about me teaching myself how to do things is with the DID, I have memory blocks where I can't remember a lot of things. So it's like I have to relearn it like almost every time I do something. I know it sounds funny when you say I have amnesia, but that's what it is. Okay, and then we're just taking the back of the tip and bringing it in with our pliers. Giving us a nice clean S. And the great thing about crafting, guys, and the same thing with like even things like Creativerse or Minecraft or any of the games that does any type of crafting, if you don't like it, change it. Change the rules if it doesn't work the first time. Because I can teach you how to do this, or like with my case is, I can watch someone make something 100 times, and I'll do it exactly the same everything, and it turns out totally different. Really wish I had a blue. Wish I had more blue. These beads are kind of cute. I just don't know what I'm going to do with them now. And once again, I don't know if you guys can tell, with just that little work, you can see the bruising that's happening in the hands. And these little guys are super, super tight. Like that's all quilled. So these little pieces take forever to pull your rest. That one actually took up the back. That's weird. Come on, why are you taking up my back? Have a big enough circle. There we go. Takes some finagling, I know, but we got it to work. Okay. Do not like how this one's turning out. So we're just going to make it plain. I'll give it some bling later on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is it's hooked onto the piece, and now we just have a circle with this huge piece that's sticking out. So I call it sandwich bagging it. And I'm just going to wrap it around, if it lets me. Wrap it around twice so that it's connected. Bring up the loop so it's facing up. Then grab our cutters, go flush up against the item of the hook. Watch your eyes. This does go flying. And because these are actually cutters are made for thinner wire, it does take a few times to get in there and cut them correctly. Now what you're going to do is squish down so that all of it goes flush up against each other. Come back in with your loopers and kind of fix that loop. And now this is just a plain everyday Jane loop. Nothing special. Right now I'm trying to find the best distance between the S and the loop. And we're just using our fingers or can help it along. And I just took off all of that back. Darn. You guys can see my face right now. Like you can just see my face right now. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that, but all of that white, that's the rip-off paint that I now need to try and match. And if you know anything about this paint style, none of these colors are the natural color. So, yeah, fun, right? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take some of these weird pieces and see what we can do with them. 2, 4, 5, 6. I got 6, so that's 2. Trying to find some of our bigger swirls. Tip of it to the size that you're going to want to do the thing. Twist your hands, your wrists. Go ahead and grab at the same point. Twist again. And then just tap them in. Okay. Depending on where you want your loop to be. I'm going to make it a bigger loop, so I'm going to go higher up the chain rails here. Wrap that down and under, so you get something like that. So all I did, if you guys can see, is I grabbed one end and just went up and over, so you're getting that really clean circle. You need to always go around and twist in. You get that really nice loop. We will fix that loop so it's facing up. Now what you can do is keep this guy in there and then twist along the edges, making a coil. Or what you can do is what we had here already, and don't pinch super hard, because like I said, that's going to make indentations in your wire here, and we do not want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this loop all the way around to the front. But at the same time, not try to, there you go. That was just straighten it out. Now we have this nice loop. We've got the little coil, and none of this is snaggable. Oh, no worries. No worries. I understand adulting. Trust me. Adulting is adulting. Do what you need to do. Hope you had a good day at least. Once again, I'm coiling it. I'm actually going to do something different. I'm going to keep half the coil here, so it's facing up like this. And then I'm going to use this part as the hook. And this time, instead of going towards me, I'm going to go opposite, so that the loop hooks into that spot right there. And then we're going to take our, and then turn. Never be afraid to go back in there and fix up the hooks. Okay, back out again. We're going to do exactly the same thing as I did before. We're going to go ahead and uncurl it just a little. Put that through. Make sure that the quirl sits nicely flat. Bring this one up. Once again, we're going to take our pliers to the tip of the chain and then work our way down and twist. In the worst case scenario, we can actually cut. All I did there was do the curl, flip it, and then I turned it with my pliers so that it's actually turns into a little heart. So this is a little heart. We can barely see it, and I do apologize, but here is one loop, and here's the curl, and then inside of it, it actually makes a little heart design. In the back, make that flat, bring this over, kind of touching it, back and grab our pliers, turn in till it touches each other, and then clamp. Hope I have a big enough one for this one. All right, and then once again, back, make it flat, pull this over to the tip. Oops. Twist and in. Always pay attention to where these edges of your story goes. Keeps me satisfied, gives me all I need. Distance will last forever. Feel safe. No wonder, no math. Everybody told me what you will. Oh, yeah. And there we have it, guys. That is all of the ones that have made the cut. I have about two and a half of these filled with ones that did not make the cut, meaning they were just too poo to even think about. As you can see, with just that little bit of work, guys, my hands are completely blistered. So it does tell you that if you're going to do this for a long period of time, you really want to look for ones that have a better grip. These are not the best. There is no give in them. There's nothing that, you know, that kind of cushions it, so that's perfectly fine. I mean, even if I was doing it with a pair of scissors, I would still get the blister experience. And trust me, I did a lot of twirling and spinning and wrapping and rolling and all of that stuff when I first made these stories. Like I said, you guys can't find that on my old Facebook. If you guys want to know any of that information, just let me know. I am on Twitter for Paws of Aries or Paws of Curiosity for the crafting. We are also on YouTube for both channels, and on Instagram now, but under Paws only. But you guys can find all of that information down below underneath the tabs. So these are all the ones that we have gotten done today. Each one has its little own style to them. And I'm like totally messing these up. I should just stop. A lot of them have their own style, their own little connections. Each of them have its own little spirits to them. Honestly, even if I use like the same paint colors, I mean, let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. All these were the same paint pour. So all of these were the same ones, all the same colors, all the same tones, everything. And look how differently, I mean, yeah, they kind of look the same, but they really did turn out so different compared to each other. The same thing with like the oranges, like these. Oh wait, I just totally like messed up with the orange. Okay, so these you can tell are sort of the same. But some of these you'll be like, there's no way. There's no way these came from like the same stack. Oh yeah. Like these here all came from the same color palette. Same thing with this one here. They were all the same color palette. That has no orange in it whatsoever, but it was from the same color palette. It is just wonderful. I loved how these turned out. I mean, of course, with practice, they could have turned out a lot better, but yeah. So yes, these are going to be done today. Next step is going to be putting these red strings onto them and dipping them into the varnish that will turn them into these shiny beauties. Get that shine going in there. Focus. I'm telling you, this has some really beautiful details if it would just focus. Really beautiful details if it would focus. So these have already been done. I might need to come back into some of these and do spot checks. But that one I don't know why, but it always reminds me of like an ocean of some kind in space. You guys really can't see the details, and that's really upsetting, because some of these have some really cool details to them. But we have a whole bunch of different colors. We've got these. One is my favorite. I wish I can get a picture of these. I might scan them into the printer to kind of show you. But this one actually has what looks like sea foam that kind of goes in there, and I can't get it to focus. That's okay. So yeah, so I'm actually going to go ahead and just start red ribboning these. Oh, another project. Ah! You guys see that? Yep, that's my chair deciding it was going to take out the thing. Another thing that I am working on is masks. This one is actually formed to my face. That is my real nose. That is the real indentation of my forehead. So I do plan on trying to make some masks going on in the future and see how that turns out. As you can see, this, and of course, I just bent it right when I said it didn't bend. But that's easy to fill out. Just get a heat gun and kind of go over that again. So that's one of the items that we've done. Okay, so take our broken stuff, mix it in with our good stuff. And that was from bracelet, excuse me, 156. If anybody goes to the site to look at what number I just tore up. Alexa, skip. And these little containers that I'm using are just old Risk games. And they're so wonderful. I mean, really, they are. Okay, so pick up our mess because we don't need any of that. All we need now is a container to put our ends, string, Alexa, skip. Sure. Okay, there we go. I don't need them to be that long. I just need them to be long enough to hang off of a bookshelf wires while they dry, because we'll be priming them now. There. Okay, I just did not like that one. It had to be twisted more. I was also thinking about maybe making a wand. Not a Harry Potter wand because, you know, I'm just... Okay, so if anybody's here, here is a secret about me. I have never, you guys can do it as well. I have never, I have never watched Titanic. I have never read or watched any of the Harry Potters. So, when people go on about the movies and the shows and the places and all of that, I know nothing. Know nothing at all. I'm just agreeing with you because it sounds cool, it looks cool, and that's about all I know. So the wand I'm actually more looking into making is more of a, I don't know what to actually call it without getting people offended. Um, but more of a real style one with crystals for certain things because different crystals do different things. They're healing properties and different crystals. That is true. It has been proven. It's not just, you know, hocus pocus type of stuff. Um, and I do have a piece of um, wood that I have found that is perfect for this idea. It is the correct height for my arm. I just really don't know how to start it, meaning like, okay, is the vocal point supposed to be on the top or the handle? I know swords, but a wand and a sword is totally different. I know that you need a vocal point at the bottom and then a point at the top where the energy is projected. I also know about, you know, the differences in metals to use for different healing properties, and all of that that I'm also looking into creating with it. But honestly, the only ones that I have found for making wands are Harry Potter wands. And most of those are made with chopsticks. So I'm not sure. And then after these are primed and done, all of this string will be used for another project that I am doing. Um, it's actually going to be a root system. I'm hoping, let's say I hope, I'm hoping to use this as a root system for some items that I am making. It's going to be more details and stuff like that. I was depending on using like hot glue or string or yarn. I'm not sure about that. But the hot glue gives more of a winding, where this will have more stability and more texture. Uh, so I can also just do both. You know, I can do like parts of it have the hot glue, and then parts of it be the string, depending on the sizes of the detail that I need. What's that sound? Oh, yeah, hell. Every fire. Desire. I do not like this one. Didn't like how that edge turned out. Alexa, play Skid Row. But yeah, we were also thinking about opening up. I know this has been mentioned before, but if anybody is here, we have been talking about opening an Etsy store for all of this. Um, but it's the. I just really want these. They're sure not cookie cutter. And that is what people want these days. They want pre-made, cookie cutter, everyday Jones stuff. yeah, what do you guys have planned? Can you believe it's Thursday? It's Thursday. One more day until we have our famous Friday. You guys have anything planned? Any fun games? Any co-ops going on? You guys create anything interesting lately? You know, all that wonderful stuff. My goodness, it's like I didn't even touch this. It's like I haven't even touched this bowl yet. Ooh, that's a small one. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this in there. Oh, don't think so. Okay, so that went aside for now. I'll deal with it in a sec when I have to open it up. I love this color red. Like I said, I don't need them super long, but I just need them long enough so that when they dangle, they're not touching each other as well. Because these will be set outside to dry. Alexa, get please. I'm streaming.
Wrong with it?
No, I just had it off because it slipped off the soap in my hands.
Okay. That was like turning your finger green.
Huh?
I thought it was turning your finger green or something.
Nope, actually not. The ring that I got from the box sets is not turning my finger ring. I'm actually really surprised about that. It's actually really good quality. If you guys are Lord of the Ring fans and want to get a engagement ring or wedding ring, look for the Risk box set. I'm telling you, this ring is gorgeous. It has the elven writing on it, both on the inside and outside of the ring. And it's made really well. So yeah. Has taken over the spot for my wedding ring. Did you check the water before you came in? I know he's going to turn on the air. That's why I'm asking, because I'm like, I know the air is going to be turned on as soon as he gets out of the restroom. Which is going to be awesome, because that means by that time I should hopefully be done stringing these, and I'll be outside in the heat. Win for me. I get the heat. But also remember, guys, I love the heat. I love being warm. Can't stand the cold. And to everybody who has come in today, who has been lurking, who's been chatting, thank you for follow. That's definitely helping with the race to 500. Well, it's not really a race because I'm not racing anybody, but the goal to 500. And do let you guys know if you'd like to catch any of the past crafting streams. We do have a YouTube page that has all of the old streams up, as well as highlight videos of how items looked before and after they were painted or done or drawn or whatever that item is. We also have a lot of other crafting videos that are up there that deals with other items like clays, buildings, carpentry, a whole bunch of different items up there if you guys want to catch them. And if you guys would like to know any of that information, they are down below in the panels, or you can type in !YouTube or Twitter. You guys feel free to share anything you guys would like about pets, crafting, music, any of that. I like to share. Alexa, yep. Ooh, that one's definitely needs to be spot checked. Probably bring out a orange and black paint with me outside before I dip these. Kind of keep some paints on hand just in case I see a little spot that I can I mean, some of these colors I just don't have anymore. Hands down, I don't have most of these colors. As most of you guys know, I use stuff that I find, at thrift stores or in my garage. The paints that I use are called Oops paints. It's all random, it's all different, and oh. Not liking it today. Let's see what I can do about it. The ones that actually look like Easter. um, that was the last of all of those colors. I said, don't like something, guys. Switch it up. You never know what's gonna actually come out of it when you're done. And if you guys are heading out for the day, I hope you guys had an awesome one. I hope that you guys at least smiled once a day. If not, I hope your day is not over. It has been awesome with all your guys' support. And dropping by. As you can see, I am pretty much done. So would you guys like to watch another crafting stream? Would you guys like to watch another one of your guys' favorite streamers? Oh, that actually clunked. I didn't think I actually got the hole in that one. What would you guys like to see today? Okay. Let's see, who do we have today? Or Mars is just chatting. Mindful Art for You is doing Arc. Jin is playing No Man's Sky. Rudy, Space Engineers, really good one. Insanity, No Man's Sky. Arwen, such a sweetheart girl. If you guys haven't got it, I mean, honestly, you need to check Arwen out. She's a really good streamer and so super, super sweet. We also have Average Jane. She's playing Data on Lords. Underlords. I don't know what that is, to be honest. I know I've watched it a few times. I don't know what it is. Paws probably does, but I don't. And forgive the camera deciding it's going to go all haywire on us. Not sure what it's trying to focus on. That helps any. And last but not least, my friends, last but not least, now we are basically almost done. The only thing I need to do is go varnish these, let them dry overnight to a few days, depending on if I need to dip them or spot check them. If they need to be spot checked, I need to wait until those items are completely dry before I am able to varnish them so that the ink does not get damaged. You guys have been awesome. I am definitely going to be trying to have some more crafting streams. Do you guys have any ideas on what you would like me to try out? Do remember I am teaching myself all of this wonderful stuff, so I'm open to suggestions, guys. I'm open to suggestions. Anything new. These were just I had this on hand, so we are going to make it type of thing. We have the bowls that are going to be done, so look for those on the updated versions for pictures and all of that wonderful jazz. And yeah, thank you guys again for the support. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys back on another crafting stream as soon as we get them out. Okay, and remember, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, we are all there. You guys have a great night.